Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing the glories of Ekadashi, which is occurring on 28th July 2021. Hare Krishna. Before starting that, we'll recite the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we'll be hearing today the glories of Shayana Ekadashi. So this is occurring on July 20th, 2021. So we'll be fasting for Shayana Ekadashi, especially on the Mumbai. And next day, that is 21st July 2021, the breaking of the fast of this Ekadashi timings are 6:11 a.m. to 10:33 a.m. Now let us see the story and significance of this particular Ekadashi, the Shayana Ekadashi. The auspicious 11th day of the light fortnight of the month of Ashada, this June-July, is celebrated as Shayana Ekadashi. We know all these Ekadashis, the talks are happening between Krishna and Yudhishthira Maharaj. So once Yudhishthira Maharaj inquires from Lord Krishna, saying in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, O Lord of the Lords, Sri Krishna, all glories unto you, O Master of the universe. You alone are the source of the four types of living entities. We know the four types of living entities. Those are born of eggs, born of perspiration, born of seeds, born of embryos. And you are the root cause of all, O Lord, and therefore the creator, maintainer and destroyer. My Lord, you have kindly described me the auspicious day known as Yogini Ekadashi. Now I request you to please explain to me about the Ekadashi that occurs in the light fortnight of the month of Ashada, which comes in the June-July month. What is its name and what are its glories, and who is the worshipable deity for the auspicious day, and what is the process for observing this event? Then Lord Sri Krishna answers to Yudhishthira Maharaj, O caretaker of this earthly planet, I shall gladly tell you a wonderful historical event that the Deva, Lord Brahma, once narrated to his son Narada Muni. One day Narada Muni asked his father, what is the name of that Ekadashi that comes during the light fortnight of the month of Ashada? Much as you did, kindly tell me how I should observe this Ekadashi and thus pleased the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna or Sri Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma replied, O great saintly orator, O best of the sages, O purest devotee of the Lord Vishnu, your question is as usual excellent for all mankind. There is nothing better than Ekadashi, the day of Lord Sri Hari, in this or in any other world. This nullifies even the worst sins of if observed properly. For this reason, I shall tell you about this Ashada Shukla Ekadashi. Now let us see the glories of Shayana Ekadashi. Fasting on this Ekadashi purifies one of all sins and fulfills all one's desires. Therefore, whoever neglects to observe this sacred fast day is a good candidate for entering into hell. Ashada Shukla Ekadashi is also famous as Padma Ekadashi. Just to please the Supreme Lord, Rishikesh, the master of the senses, one should fast on this day. Listen carefully, O Narada. As I related to you a wonderful historical event that was recorded in the scriptures regarding this Ekadashi. Just hearing this account destroys all kinds of sins along with all obstacles on the path to spiritual perfection. O son, there was once a saintly king in the Surya Vamsha, the Sun dynasty, whose name was Mandata. Because he always stood up for the truth, he was appointed emperor. He took care of his subjects as though they were his very own family members and children. On account of his piety and great religiosity, there was no pestilence, no drought, or any disease of any kind in his entire kingdom. All his subjects were not only free from all kinds of disturbances, but also were very wealthy. The king's own treasury was free of any ill-gotten money, and thus he ruled happily for many years. Once, however, because of some sin in his kingdom, there was a drought for 3 years. The subjects found themselves beset by famine also. The lack of food grains made it impossible for them to perform the prescribed Vedic sacrifices, offer oblations of Grita, that means ghee, to their forefathers and to the Devas, and engage in any ritualistic worship, or even study the Vedic literatures. Finally, they all came before their beloved king in a great assembly and addressed him thus: O king, you always see to our welfare, so we humbly beg your assistance now. Everyone and everything in this world needs water. Without water, almost everything is rendered useless or dead. The Vedas call water Nara, and because the Supreme Personality of Godhead sleeps upon water, his name, another name is Narayana. God makes his own abode on water and takes his rest there. It is said that 3 things cannot exist without water: pearls, human beings, and flour. The essential quality of a pearl is its luster, and that is due to the water. The essence of man is semen, and whose main constituent is water. And without water, flour cannot be made into dung and then be cooked into various forms of bread, offered and eaten. Sometimes water is called Jala Narayana, the Supreme Lord in the form of this life-sustaining substance, water. In his form as the clouds, the Supreme Lord is present throughout the sky and pours forth rains from which grows the grains that maintains every living entity. O king, severe drought has caused a great lack of valuable grains. Thus, we are all miserable, and the population is decreasing as people die off or leave your kingdom. O best ruler on the earth, please find some solution to this problem and bring us to peace and prosperity once again. The king replied, you speak the truth, for grains are like Brahman, the absolute truth, who lives within grains and thereby sustains all living beings. Indeed, it is because of grains that the entire world lives. Now, why is there a terrible drought in our kingdom? The holy scriptures discuss this subject very thoroughly. If a king or head of any country is irreligious, both he and his subjects suffer. I have meditated upon the cause of sorry I have meditated upon the cause of our problem for a long time, but after searching my past and present character, I can honestly say that I find no sin. Still, for the good of all your subjects, I shall try to remedy the situation. Thinking in this way, the king Mandata assembled his army and encouraged, paid his obeisances to me, and then entered the forest. He wandered here and there, seeking great sages in their ashramas and inquiring about how to resolve the crisis in his kingdom. At last, he came upon the ashram of one of my other sons, Angira Muni, whose effulgence lit up all directions. Seated in his hermitage, Angira looked like a second Brahma. King Mandata was very pleased to see that exalted sages, whose senses were completely under control. The king immediately dismounted his horse and offered his respects obeisances at the lotus feet of Angira Muni. Then the king joined his arms and prayed for the Muni's blessings. That saintly person reciprocated by blessing the king with the sacred mantras. When he asked him about the welfare of the 7 limbs of his kingdom, what are the 7 limbs? The 7 limbs of the king's domains are: first, the king himself; the second, the ministers; the third is the treasuries; the fourth is military forces; and fifth is allies; and sixth is the brahmanas; and seventh, the sacrificial performances performed in the kingdom with the needs of the subject under his care. After telling the sage how the 7 limbs of his kingdom were situated, King Mandata asked the sage about his own situation. And if he was happy, then Angira Muni asked the king why he had undertaken such a difficult journey into the forest. And the king told him of the affliction his kingdom was suffering. The king said, "O great sage, I am ruling and maintaining my kingdom while following the Vedic injunctions, and thus I do not know the reason for the drought. To solve this mystery, I have approached you for help. Please help me relieve the suffering of my subjects." Angirashi said to the king, "The present age, Satyayuga, is the best of all ages. For in this age, Dharma stands on all 4 legs. 4 legs are truthfulness, austerity, mercy, and cleanliness. In this age, everyone respects Brahmins as the topmost members of society. Also, everyone fulfills his occupational duties, and only twice born Brahmanas are allowed to perform Vedic rituals, austerities, and penances. Although this is a standard, O lion among kings, there is one Sudra, uninitiated, untrained person who is unlawfully performing the rites of austerity and penances in your kingdom. This is why there is no rain in your land. You should therefore punish this laborer with death, for by so doing you will remove the contamination inflicted by his actions and restores peace in your subjects." Then the king replied, "How can I kill an offense-less performer of austerity and sacrifice? Please give me some spiritual solution." The great sage Angira Muni then said, "O king, you should observe a fast on the Ekadashi that occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Ashada. This auspicious day is named Padma Ekadashi, and by its influence, plentiful rains and thus grains and other foodstuffs will surely return to your kingdom. This Ekadashi bestows perfection upon its faithful observers, removes all kinds of bad elements, and destroys all obstacles on the path to perfection. O king, you, your relatives, and your subjects should all observe this sacred Ekadashi fast. Then everything in your kingdom will undoubtedly return to normal." Upon hearing these words, the king offered his obeisances and then returned to his palace. When the Padma Ekadashi arrived, King Mandata assembled the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras in his kingdom and instructed them to strictly observe this important fast day. After they had observed it, the rains fell just as the sage had predicted, and in due course of time there were abundant crops and a rich harvest of grain. By the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Rishikesh, the master of the senses, all the subjects of the king Mandata become extremely happy and prosperous. Therefore, O Narada, everyone should observe this Ekadashi fast very strictly, for it bestows all kinds of happiness as well as ultimate liberation upon the faithful devotee. The Lord Krishna concludes saying, "My dear Yudhishthir, Padma Ekadashi is so powerful that one who simply reads or hears its glories become completely sinless. O Pandava, one who wishes to please me should strictly observe this Ekadashi, which is also known as Deva Shayani Ekadashi. Deva Shayani or Vishnu Shayani indicates the day when Lord Vishnu goes to sleep with all the Devas, demigods. It is said that after this day, one should not perform any new auspicious ceremonies until Devothani Ekadashi. Haribodhini, Prabodhini, Devathani, Uttana Ekadashi, which occurs during the month of Kartik, October, November, because the Devas, demigods, being asleep, cannot be invited to the sacrificial arena, and because the sun is traveling along its southern course, Dakshinayanam, Lord Sri Krishna continued, O Lion among kings, Yudhishthir Maharaj, whoever wants liberation should regularly observe a fast on this Ekadashi, which is also day when the Chaturmasya fast begins. So these are the glories of Shayana Ekadashi or Padmini Ekadashi. So His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, tells in his books that one should observe the fasting on this Ekadashi day every 11th day after the full moon and 11th day after the new moon, when no grains, cereals or beans are eaten. Simply vegetables and milk are taken in moderate amounts, and chanting of Hare Krishna, reading scriptures, etc. is increased. So these are the statements of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So we wish all of you the wishes of Shayani Ekadashi or Padmini Ekadashi, and we'll be observing and we'll be getting, all of us getting the benefit of this. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.